Hello everyone, Emma Power here. Before we get into today's video, I'd just like to say a massive thanks for 65 subscribers. We'll currently be doing a giveaway shortly. Details will be announced over the next week or so. But for today's video, we're going to be looking at ADP, which has a very controversial stat line of altered creation GX and is generally quite a bit of a thorn for the format. And a lot of people are against ADP, and there is quite a lot of support for the card being banned in the standard format. So I thought it was perhaps worth looking at some evidence as to why the Pokemon Company are a little bit biased in terms of this card and how they don't seem to want to hinder it in any way possible and just want to keep it the best deck in the format. So going into our first problem comes in the next set, which is Shocking Volt Tackle. And in that set, there's a card called Aegislash V, in case you haven't already seen it. It does 130 damage with Sonic Edge, and then this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. And this is where my little conspiracy theory kind of kicks off. Is 130 is suspiciously close to being able to knock out all the Pokemon that are supposed to be direct ADPZ counters. So Decidueye, 140 HP, Altaria 110, so Altaria is a bit shrunk here because Altaria will go down without any kind of buffs, which we'll talk about in a second. And Obstagoon has 160 HP, so Obstagoon's looking very proud of himself. But we see a bit of a problem already, is that ADP's Altered Creation adds plus 30 damage and plus extra prize. So Aegislash V can do 160 and just knock out Obstagoon and Decidueye. That's a big problem for the format, because what it looks like is that Pokemon Company have basically just said, oh look, to stop the complaining about all the power creep and the GXs and the Vs and the broken ADPs, we're basically going to print Decidueye, Obstagoon, Altaria, help people out. But really, these guys have only been around for 1 or 2 sets, and they're already going to be hard countered to the point where all that talk about Decidueye, Altaria, Obstagoon having massive potential to shake up the meta is wasted, because what's happened is Aegislash V has just been printed. Now, Aegislash V doing 130 plus the Altered Creation buff going to 160 is too much of a coincidence for my liking. If it was 120, I'd be a bit more on board, because Obstagoon could potentially, still take a tank a hit. So if Obstagoon got the first 90 damage and was able to do 3 for the ability, it would be okay. But against Decidueye, there's no hope. Like, resistance to grass, 210 HP, access to Metal Saucer, it's just a bit too fishy. It works a bit too well for my liking, and I don't like where this is going. I've never really been a big fan of ADP, and it's a shame that Aegislash V has to get shelved with this hatred. But right now, I'm just not content with the format at all, especially with ADP just running around doing things. But it's kind of sad to see that these 3 attackers, which are once revered, arguably some of the best single prize attackers in the game, will have to be sidelined quite a bit just because some people thought that ADP needed more buffs, which is ridiculous. I'd also quickly like to talk about Hero's Bath and Coating Metal Energy, primarily because Hero's Bath buffs ADPZ. It's almost in the name, Hero's Bath. It's like they view it as the champion. Basic Pokemon take 20 less damage. So one could argue this is a good thing, because it means ADP is less likely to play Chaotic Swell. So it means you could potentially play your own stadiums a bit easier now. But Hero's Bath, 20 less damage, it means ADP is going to be taking 20 less. It's just ridiculous. Frankly, everyone, it's just ridiculous. And Coatling Metal Energy just says Zacian and Aegislash respectively have no weakness, which is slightly unrelated to what we're talking about, but it just means Scorch will have a harder time against ADPZ again, which is a tragedy. So no more attaching 3 energy to Scorch and getting a one-hit kill on Zacian. Nice, easy. No. Coating Metal Energy takes care of that problem. So I'm just not a big fan of ADP right now, and I hope that the Pokemon Company steers clear of buffing it in the future and potentially prints some better counters to this card. So yeah, that was today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. be sure to let me know what you think of ADP in the comment section, and I'll see you all next time.